Welcome to the Wildcast podcast, coming to you from Wildcast Studios with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Welcome into Wildcast Studios for another episode of the Wildcast podcast, your unofficial voice for all things Moncton Wildcats, presented by Alpha's Appliance Solutions. Right now until December 30th, they've got the Gen Air Luxury Redefined event. Right now, purchase any 3 pieces and you can save an extra 10% when you purchase one more, 15% when you purchase 2 or 3, 20% when you purchase 4, or a whopping 25% when you purchase 5 or more eligible Gen Air products. Go to 25 Halifax Street or call them at 506-858-5111. As always, fan listeners, I am your host, Adam Lund, and I'm joined by your co-hoster and writer for Rocket Sports, Mr. Jeremy Boucher. And what is on the docket today?
Holiday drinks are back at Starbucks.
Yeah.
As I mentioned a few weeks ago, the lattes late at night have a severe effect on my ability to fall asleep.
Yep.
So instead of doing lattes when we're recording the shows, they're now going to be, this is a nice peppermint white hot chocolate, which is very good. It had some whipped cream on it, some sprinkles. Very fancy, very good. Really stepping up their game. You can't find that anywhere else.
So lattes during the day, hot chocolates at night?
The cutoff time is probably like 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock? Yeah.
3 o'clock for the lattes. Hot chocolates, any time of the day.
So we got past Halloween. And
we did.
How was your trick-or-treating night, and how was your dad tax the next day?
Oh, the best part was the house tax. Because we were...
This is Boucher math here.
Fully prepared for trick-or-treaters.
Yeah.
In the new humbled abode, and we got 0 trick-or-treaters. So the 24 cans of pop, the 36 bags of chips, and the 50 chocolate bars had a solid 100% return on investment. Other than that, trick-or-treating was good.
Yeah.
Started out at Royal Oaks because Royal Oaks, nice houses. Maybe you'd get a good vibe there, get some good hauls.
And then
it was bad.
Yeah.
So we just went back to where we used to live, into that neck of the woods, and got like a pillowcase full.
Yeah, pretty good case when you came to the house.
Yeah. So we did good, and dad tax. I'm picking away on those chocolate bars every night, and the chips, not really touching the chips.
No, I'm not.
A lot of plain chips, garbage. A lot of cheese sticks, garbage, and that's about it. Still munching away.
Yeah, we had 95 people show up at the house,
right.
Which is more than we've had in the 7 years or 6 years combined that we've been able to have trick-or-treaters. And it started at 5:45 and it ended at I think about a little after 9 actually. And it was just, I wanted the 100, and I was actually, you messaged you like, yeah, we're gonna be there around 8, and I'm like, come on, other kids, because I wanted Avery to be the 100th kid. I thought that'd be cool if she was like the 100th, but she was the 94th kid. So
wow.
Yeah, we had one kid after you left that came to the door when we were downstairs. We're like, what the hell? So but yeah, we bought like 260 chocolate bars or something like that.
Crap.
Like, we just went and got everything that was on sale that we could, because like I said before, she had the question out to people in our neighborhood, like, how many do you get? And somebody had 130, and I'm like, well, if we get to that, we got to go 2 candies only. So we had a pretty decent stack left, and we've kind of been picking through it here and there. I definitely try not to take it to work. I just leave it here so that I'm not eating it constantly all day, every day. But, man, I am so thankful for Richie Tebow and the team that he has put together on the ice. Because right now, being a sports fan for myself has been incredibly difficult. The Oilers are 2-7-1 and pure hot garbage. The Buccaneers are 3-5 and can't get out of their own way. So the Stamps are now out. Not that I really watch a lot of them because of time difference, but I don't know about you, but thank God for the Wildcats.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same boat. Flames aren't doing any better than the Oilers, and that's the Patriots. I mean, don't think I've watched a full game. I'm still as soon as I see Mac Jones throw an interception, and guess who threw an interception with 20 seconds left in the game? Mac Jones. So it's not a very good sports year for me.
No,
Jays were, the whole story there.
Yeah.
And, no, so you're right. Thank God there's some decent hockey going on.
Yeah, because it gives me something to look forward to coming to do this. Because if we were, 3-12-1, we might take a small hiatus and go every second week. Because that'd be tough to do, and your sports love would be just wah. But
you mean if this was a Cape Breton Eagles podcast?
Oh, what? Oh man, yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Master Chef, caught up.
Hell's Kitchen, you mean?
Hell's Kitchen, yeah.
Yeah, caught up.
I felt bad for Brad.
Yeah, me too. I think he was kind of. I don't think he was going to make it that much further.
No.
But
still, your body to quit on you.
Yeah. You gotta put your health first, and usually when something like that happens, they say, okay, that's the last. There's not another one gone, right?
Another elimination.
So I was a little surprised that after Brad was gone, Gordon still went and evicted. I can't think of her name there, but Rahisha, something like So I was surprised. I couldn't to see two go was shocking to me, but no, it's Brad gotta put your health first, and he made the right call.
Yeah, my favorite part was the one who got eliminated. She was like, "Oh, I was one paycheck away from losing my home, but I was here and I can't go away." I'm like, "I'm sorry, what? You're like one paycheck away and you just take off for however long of a."
Well, at least
season?
they
they
still get paid.
Yeah.
Because they are considered actors on a TV show.
Renisha,
yeah. So they still get paid. They're considered actors on a TV show. It's like Big Brother.
Yeah.
Even though you get so much money for being the winner, well, if you only last 1 week, you're still coming home with a little bit in your pocket because
you have to take that time off work. And
yeah,
I kind of thought she might be one to go because they kind of focused a lot on her. Mm-hmm. I still feel good about Jonathan, but not so much about Sammy. She seems to be kind of struggling to put things together lately, and I feel like if Red goes down again, she'll be the one to go home. Yeah,
there's a good. She's really starting to fall apart. Mine went home 2 weeks ago. I said I mentioned Melissa, and she started to disappear, and Sammy's starting to disappear too. So we'll see. Our men are still in the game, and our women are somewhat. Maybe if you're starting to feel the heat.
Yep. In the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go. I want to go there one time. Like not to be on the show, obviously.
It's like it's like a 5-year wait.
Yeah.
To get a table on Hell's Kitchen.
Like on the actual TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah. I'd like to just go to the one in Vegas. I think he's got another one somewhere else too.
He's got 3 or 4.
3 of the actual Hell's Kitchens, but I'd like to go to the one in Vegas and put your name on in 5 years, get your trip planned.
Imagine. You have to be here tomorrow.
And you got to be here for 6 hours while we film this with a certain amount of mistakes. And we might feed you, but I would kind of really like to go to Hell's Kitchen and stay away from any of those restaurants on his other show.
Did you know if you go to a taping of Hell's Kitchen and you don't get fed, you get a voucher to eat at one of Gordon Ramsay's restaurants?
Oh, like if the service is gone or whatever? Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I did not know that.
So you still get to experience Gordon Ramsay cooking. You just get a voucher for one of his other restaurants in Vegas, so you can go and eat that night if you want to. Yeah.
Have you ever seen the one TikTok with him where he's commenting on food and the dude cooks a beef Wellington in his dorm?
In his dorm room, yeah.
I was like...
A little aggressive, but
yeah, I can barely use an oven in my own house. This guy's cooking a beef Wellington. Have you ever had a beef Wellington?
No, never. I think it's so damn complicated, and you can't find anywhere around here. No. If anybody knows a restaurant in the vicinity of Moncton,
hit us up.
An hour's drive even that serves beef Wellington, please let me know. I'd love to try it.
I feel like St. James Gate would like. Maybe even the Sophie and Spritz.
I've checked their menus. I've looked.
Oh man,
If there's a
because I would like to try it. It looks
yeah
effing delicious.
yeah. I can't even think of a restaurant around here that would serve it. Little Louie's? No, I don't know.
Lenny's.
Lenny's Takeout on Mapleton. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. As always, don't forget to follow us on all the social medias: Twitter, Moncton Wildcast; Instagram, Wildcast Podcast; TikTok, Wildcast Podcast. Of course, like and subscribe here on the YouTube. Click that little bell so you're notified when we go live for the post-game shows. Let's get to some news and notes from around the queue.
News and notes from around the queue.
So we are taping this show on a Sunday evening, so we do not have Player of the Week or Team of the Week yet. So we kind of adjusted. We got a few things, but not as much as we normally do. The Scholastic Player of the Month for October were announced in the queue, and Olivier Boutin was named the representative for the Moncton Wildcats.
Nerd.
Yeah. And Q named also its Players of the Month. Nice little Wildcats representation on there. Forward of the month was Justin Gill from Baie-Comeau, 13 games. He's got 7 goals, 18 assists for 25 points. Israel Minsicum from Sherbrooke, 7 goals and 13 assists for 20 points in 12 games. Defenseman of the month, Maverick Lamoureux, 10 games, 4 goals, 10 assists, 14 points. Honorable mention goes to Jeremy Langlois of the Huskies, 3 goals, 8 assists for 11 points. Goaltender of the month, no surprise, Matthias Rousseau, 9-1, 180 goals against average and 942 save percentage, 1 shutout and including 1 goal. And then Samuel St. Hilaire of Sherbrooke, 6-2, a 188 goals against average, a 932 save percentage and a shutout. Rookie of the month honorable mention was Raul Boyard from Baie-Comeau, 7 goals, 8 assists, 15 points. And the rookie of the month was Caleb Desnoyers, 5 goals, 10 assists, 15 points. Speaking of him, he was named the assistant captain of Team White at the U17 Championship. Mm-hmm. Had a nice little goal that I shared on Sunday at the U17 Championship. So he's having quite a tournament there. I know Sean Carey is playing pretty well. Friend went over there and said he's playing. He told me who he was playing with, but said he's playing well. And then he's talking about Denway, and he's like, "Yeah, he still tries to pass over here too." It's just like, which I mean, look, he's got 5 goals, he got 10 assists, so he's a playmaker, and we knew that coming in. He was a playmaker, and he's actually been able to continue that up. I see you've got something, so we'll put it in the news segment because it looks like you've got some news, so you might as well share it.
So I didn't find any beef Wellington in Moncton.
Oh, okay.
But at the Barrington Steakhouse in Halifax, 16-ounce beef Wellington for a measly $135.
How much?
$135. Same thing. Filet mignon, mushroom duxelle, prosciutto, puff pastry, the demi-glaze. Literally the Gordon Ramsay Hell's Kitchen beef Wellington. $135 for a 16-ounce.
Andrew Barrington, why is your parents' restaurant so much money, bro?
Man. Jeez.
$135. Would you pay it? I mean, it's one.
I don't think I'd pay that much for a beef Wellington unless it was a Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah,
beef Wellington.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like if that was like $65,
yeah,
I'd pay it.
Yeah.
But once you get into the 100, I better be called an idiot sandwich by Gordon Ramsay, and he better come out and cook that thing for me. But obviously, he's not going to cook it. But yeah, I think if I'm going to pay that price, I want the ambiance and the atmosphere of a Hell's Kitchen restaurant or a general Gordon Ramsay style restaurant. It doesn't have to be the Hell's Kitchen one.
Exactly. That's ludicrous.
Yeah. Whew. All right, let's get to the weekly rewind.
Weekly Rewind.
So the Wildcats go 2-1 on the week, bringing the record to 13-4, 0-2, 27 points on the season. Good enough for second in the conference, first in the Maritimes. The month of October, before we get into the weekly rerun, I guess, the month of October, 8-2-1 for them.
Pretty good.
So decent month. Of course, 2 of those losses were on the Thursday, which we're going to get to here in a little bit. Got some stats for that on that. But Wednesday, Wildcats going to Val d'Or. took a little bit to get going. It was good to see Keegan Warren play against somebody other than St. John. And it was the M from the MCL line that kind of took over, and Miles Mueller with a nice wrist shot on the power play, and then Boutin going all the way down the ice, getting it over to him and roofing it top shelf to give them the victory. But obviously that one is the quintessential bus legs game where they're not driving all the way up there, but that's a long travel. And I think if you're going to do that, a lot like I would assume Quebec teams want to do here, they want to start in Cape Breton and head back towards. But I mean, for me, it took a little while to get going, which was kind of expected being in Val-d'Or, but it was good to see them get a victory against Val-d'Or again. Yeah,
and for sure, it was always, again, I'll say it again, love playing against Val-d'Or. They're always up banging on their sticks on the boards after a Moncton goal. So
I did actually notice that this time.
It's I don't know what it is. It's they clearly enjoy the Wildcats way,
the effort
style of hockey. And no, you're right. They had a bit of a slow start, but they really started pouring it on in the latter part of the first period, and then they were just flat in the second period, like diet ginger ale flat. Like I have a tummy ache, flat.
17-7 in the second period shots. I was like, boys.
Yeah,
let's roll here.
And then got it going again in the third, but pulled out the win. And
and this time, an actual rocket by Sebastian Glass.
Yes,
on that goal, as opposed to the rocket that you had me go watch before. This was an actual rocket and a good shot.
You on that one. Yeah,
assist by Keegan Warren too.
Keegan Warren now with more points than Luke Patterson of the Cape Breton Eagles.
Let's keep that tally going for the rest of the year.
I love Luke.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but there's it's nothing against him. I know what's
sometimes it's just not your year. Right?
Yeah, not your year, not your coach. So no, if we joke about Luke Patterson, it's nothing against him. But no, you're right. Keegan Warren got an assist, got a win. Finally played against a team that wasn't St. John. Yeah. Little surprised about Moran not playing, but
I was more surprised why Moran was not playing, according to Marty Kingston.
Well, you know what, Adam, like we said last week, I said that Connor McDavid had faked his injury to play in the Heritage Classic.
Yep.
And I'm here again to say this week that I believe the true leader that he is, Etienne Morin faked his injury in order for Nathan Dubray to get into the lineup to play on the first Quebec road trip of the season.
And good for him. Yeah. And you know what? I thought Dubray
That's why he wears an A.
Yep, I thought Dubray played well in his. I think he played the first two games of the trip, but yeah, I thought he probably took a exception to your if you want to go see him in warm up comment. He's like, you know what? He's gonna play.
I'm gonna play. I'm gonna fake an injury so this kid gets a chance to play.
And maybe actually, now that you think of it, maybe that was part of it because from what I had seen, it was a UBI, upper body injury. Mm-hmm. But according to Marty Kingston, it was a lower body injury, and he said foot about 4 times. So maybe something happened between that game and a practice or something. Took an errant shot. I don't know, but I was just like down there because I thought it was an upper body, but we're not going to get into exactly what it was. But yeah, on this, what'd you say off air on this editions of Real or Fake? What'd you say?
On this, the newest segment, is it real or is it fake?
Yeah.
And it's like that thing on Netflix. Is it cake? No, is it real or is it fake?
You watch that?
Avery loves it.
Does she?
Oh, she loves that show.
How good are you at predicting?
There's a certain gloss.
Yeah.
When something is cake.
If you get done that show, go find the now I can't remember what it's called. It's like the Chocolate Factory, the Chocolatier. It's like a show where the contestants learn to make chocolate monstrosity things.
Okay.
And the guy is, I'm gonna have to find it, but the guy's unbelievable at making chocolate. It's a fantastic show. But this isn't a show about TV shows on Netflix. This could be. Maybe one of those days we'll have one of those extra episodes where we just talk about nothing. No show notes, and just keep
Carry
going.
it for an hour.
Yeah. So another Thursday game, another loss, and it's against another preseason contenders. They lose 6-0 to the Huskies. Now, I wasn't expecting a W. I said it last week. I think they're going to go 2-1 on the road trip. They're going to get 4 points, and I said I would have Keegan Warren start Wednesday against Val-d'Or, so you have a rested Steinman going against a rested Huskies team, and he needed that rest because he stopped 47 of 53 shots.
Yep.
In a 6-0 loss. Not a lot of it was on him, but you take out 4 regulars out of the lineup, and you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, that's that's another mysterious Murrah injury, and obviously we're missing Loshing, we are missing Dinwiddie, we're missing Carrier, but we're not here to make excuses. We got the 4 points that we were expecting, and it would have been nice to get at least a goal, but it didn't happen. But it's nothing. That wasn't it my Gilles Courteau Trophy Championship Series preview? I think it was. Did I say Rouen and Moncton?
I think so. Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, so it was my. But that's okay because it's a game. It's a 7-game series.
Yeah, so we just lost 1.
If you lose 6-0, it's okay.
Yeah.
You just win the next 4.
Yeah, and you come back, you got game 2 on November 24th.
There you go.
That's it.
That's all you gotta do.
That's it. Now, that one wasn't so much of a problem, except for the fact that it was another Thursday game.
Yeah.
It was another effort on a Thursday game, and I, put some things together. So in the 3 Thursday night games they've played, Victoriaville, Drummondville, Rouyn-Noranda, they're 0-3, and they've been outscored 22-4 in those Thursday games. So like you said 2.5 weeks ago, no more Thursday games.
Yeah, we're gonna ban Thursday night games.
That'd be awesome, except we got 4 more left in 2023. And then I thought you had your own schedule over there, but yeah, we got 4 more in 2023.
Christ. Charlottetown, St. John, Sherbrooke, Bathurst.
We should be able to get back to 4 and 3.
It should be okay. Yeah, it should.
The other, I guess, concerning part for me, and I don't know for you, so I'll get your opinion on it, versus the preseason contenders, the top 4 teams.
Yeah, this is a good stat.
In the 5 games, Halifax twice, Victo, Drum, and Rouyn-Noranda, they're 1-4, and they've been outscored 28-9. And I think that's the more alarming part of this, is the fact that against the teams that are contenders to go kind of all in and be in the championship 4, 1-4 and 28-9 is more concerning for me.
Yeah, that's.
And only one of those you didn't have 4 guys.
Is it a coincidence? No, I don't think so. I mean, there's the team is good.
Yep.
They're a good team. You can tell they're just not there. They're not there yet. But they're very close. And all it takes is one win against. I mean, we got the win against Halifax. You could say, oh well, it was against Milner, but at the same time, like we said, most of those goals they scored, Russo would have had a hard time stopping them. So it's at the Thursday games. We're at this point. I just think we're finding things to talking about. We're just Thursday games is not. It's not a.
Well, and the Thursday games have been against 3 of the 4 contenders,
and
right?
That's
the toughest part.
That is the toughest part. But
if they were against the St. John,
it's not going to be like that the rest of the season.
No.
If I look at it right now, there's 4 more left, and then there's not another one until February. Okay, there's one in January against Victoriaville. Yeah. But I mean, it's not. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, they should never play Thursdays anymore.
No, it's just the start of the season. You got Victo, Drum, and Rouyn-Noranda. Now, if the schedule was flipped and we had Charlottetown, St. John, and a Sherbrooke in the first 3, we're not talking about Thursday night games. So the Thursday night isn't what concerns me. What concerns me is the 1-4 and outscored 28-9.
Yeah.
Like they find that gear against the teams that they're supposed to beat and the teams they're kind of even with. But I don't know if it's a mental block on what they're doing or they try to press too much. And after all the interviews after that Drummondville game, they talked about transition hockey and to a man they got to be better back checking and whatnot. And I don't know if it's just they kind of maybe get behind early, and then they start to press, and that's where they get in trouble.
Mm-hmm. I just yawned. I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
These Sunday nights I'm not used to.
No.
Oh.
Usually bed by now, aren't you? Pretty close, 7:30.
On Sundays at 7:30, I'm getting ready for bed. Yeah.
But
Get
yeah,
there.
so like I was saying, like that's the concerning part to me is against the contenders, who are only going to get better in about a month and a half at the trade deadline, and they're not all going to add top players because you can't all add at the same time. But you look at where Moncton is right now, and 13-4 record wise, they're right up with those contenders. But you put them on the ice against them, and there's that disconnect on what your record is and how you play against them.
Yeah, for sure. Like the thing kind of that's not so fun about the schedule this year is we're not going to get to see Rouen after the trade period. Mm-hmm. And it's we'll get to see Drummondville, but
we'll get to see Baie-Comeau.
That's it. It's I would love to see Rouen Aranda after Christmas to see what the hell they look like and who the hell they've got in the lineup. And but that's not going to happen. But no, we still got the second half of this season. It is a lot of. I know where it is. It's under here.
I was looking at last year's.
Oh yeah.
So I'm trying to think of something while you're talking about it.
No, it's okay. Yeah, we've got. Drummondville, Baie-Comeau. There's really only 2 Quebec road trips in the second half of the season. Mm-hmm. Right, so it's these Thursday games and these games against contenders. If you're the second half of the schedule, if you want to see a decent team come to town, you're going to have to get tickets to see Halifax because there's not much left going to be in town after Christmas for what's going to be one of the top 4 teams. There's Halifax, and that's it.
Yeah, I was kind of looking last year. It seemed like we saw the Quebec teams we saw once in 2022 and then once in 2023. Mm-hmm. Like Victo, we saw them early in the year at home, and then we went to Victo in the second half. Whereas this year, we've already gotten Val-d'Or out of the way. We've already gotten what did you just say? Ren-Aranda out of the way. Like we'll get to see Victo on the road on the 24th after the trade deadline. Obviously, we'll see Halifax. Drummondville we'll see one more time. So at least we'll get to see them. We haven't seen Baie-Comeau, and that's the thing. Like the team we're chasing in the conference.
In the conference, yeah.
And they're gonna. I mean, they seem to be like they're gonna. This is their year, and they're.
Yeah.
Well, they were flying under the radar when you talked about the 4 teams, and I wanted to pick them when I took my teams, but I said they're one of the teams that can surprise. I just don't know how they're going to do with the playoffs. But you're going to get to see them after, and Moncton, for the most part, I mean, they put great games together and stretches of great games, and it maybe it's a mental block against these top teams that they haven't been contenders or in contender conversations for a couple of years, that it's going to take a bit to get there.
Yeah, you're right. I was just going to say something. Was it Baie-Comeau? I was going to say something about Baie-Comeau. Maybe I do need caffeine. Holy smokes. I'm losing my train of thought tonight. Nope. I lost it.
Lost it? All right. Well, we'll talk about Saturday's game then.
Yeah.
If you want to.
Yeah, because I can brag. I can brag a little bit.
Yeah, you can. It was the Boutin show. The preseason game was our Olivier Boutin. A nice touch by the Olympic to celebrate Olivier coming back as a 20-year-old. And then during the game, it was their Boutin who had 2 goals on the game, but it was a game where the former Moncton Flyers took over. 3 from Lounsbury, and Jeremy, why don't you tell us what else happened?
Well, folks, as I predicted on last week's show, I said I told you, Adam, put me down for a Cooper Cormier goal, and it wasn't just a goal. It was possibly the goal of the week, or it'll be on the highlights
most likely
for the week. So, you know what? I'm starting to get these predictions nailed down.
Yeah, you're getting pretty good at it.
Yeah. So it's at this point, Adam, just start calling me the mailman because all I do is deliver.
Yes. Yeah, and I had 3 or 4 messages about you, including you saying when Cormier scored, called it. He nailed it. I was like,
Goby.
I was like, he sure did, people. Yeah, and it was a beauty going over the blue line.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who the defender was going through his legs, and then what I liked is he wasn't passing at all.
No.
And he kind of toe dragged it, but he brought his 1 foot back just a little bit, so when the player kind of tried to go around him to lift his stick, he kind of blocked that from happening. And then I've been calling games for the Flyers for the past 2 seasons now, and that is a quintessential Cooper Cormier shot.
Yep.
Like, it is rifled right to the top. So good on him, and he'll probably he will be with the team this week, because we don't have at least Carrier and Denway till at least the 17th or the 19th. I can't remember when the tournament ends. I think it's the 17th. And Loshing, I mean, nobody knows the extent of the injury. I personally don't believe we see him until November 24th against Rouyn-Noranda. Do we need him? Obviously, you'd like to have your number one scorer in the lineup. The team has showed they can score with him on the shelf right now in this 3-game road trip, minus the 1 game. But is that your agent calling? Is that your agent calling? Now that you're predicting things, the agencies are calling you.
Yeah, they're like the Nostradamus.
Yeah, but I definitely think we see Cooper Cormier with the squad, because we're going to be without those 3 forwards till at least Rouyn-Noranda game.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. He played well enough to extend his stay. Am I going to put him down for a goal this week? Yeah, I think I'll pass on this one.
Yeah,
but no, you're right. You knew he was shooting when he was coming down that wing. You know he was shooting. Well, he knew what I said. B, there's no B, right?
Yeah.
He just knew. He knew what I said. So you're welcome.
Yeah. I usually reach out to the players when they score their first goal, congratulating them. And I said to Cooper, I was like, "Congrats on your first goal. For calling your games for 2 years, I knew exactly what kind of shot you were going to have." And he just kind of laughed and said thanks. But you look at the rookie scoring, and someone just quietly, we did this before we came up here, just quietly at the top of that list, Sump Pump, Julius, leading the rookies in scoring right now. 7 goals, 13 assists, 20 points. I mean, he's whether it's the first line or the third line, he's finding places to make impacts throughout early in the season.
Yeah, and I told you this. My mother was over during when the game was on Saturday, and she was having a great time pronouncing Sump's last name. She's like, "Well, he's not from around here, is he?" "No, Mom, he's from Germany." "Oh, Sump, Sump, Sump," and all she says is "Sump Pump." I'm like, actually, that's what we call him.
Really?
Yeah.
She said Sump Pump?
She's like Sump Pump. Like, yeah, Mama, that's actually what we call him. And she's like, "Oh, really? Okay." So even old lady, the old mama, she's enjoying the Sump faction as well.
It's just like the Q didn't even have him in the top 4 little thing they did. He was 5th at the time, but and that's what you're gonna need when 2 of your top scorers off the top line in Denway and Loshing are out. Loshing, poor guy, was in 2nd on November after the game in Quebec. Dropped down to 10th now in scoring, and he was 3 points behind Justin Gill. He's now 7 points behind him. So hopefully he's back sooner rather than later. But for me, I mean, you look at the schedule coming up: Charlottetown, Shawinigan, Bathurst, Cape Breton, Charlottetown. You'd like to have him in the lineup, but we're also not winning anything in the month of November. So you need to make sure that whatever the injury was, he's 100% healthy, because he's just had that kind of luck. Last year it wasn't medical or injury related, I guess, but he's just kind of had that luck. And so we'd rather, if he's out for a month or a month and a half or whatever, that's fine. Just get right, because we need him healthy more than we need him playing against Bathurst on a Wednesday night. Yeah,
it's true. We've got the depth was tested on the road trip, and
it showed up.
And
right?
it showed up,
Yeah.
right? There was Glass had a goal, and what were you saying before? He's got one of the
highest shooting percentage.
Shooting percentage in the league amongst rookies. because he doesn't get a shot on net, and doesn't get many shots on net, but when he does, it seems to be in the net.
4 goals on 15 shots for 26.7%. So, and Delorier was good. Samson was good. The depth on this team, and it was going to be tested this week and for basically the month of November, putting it together. They
really are, and it's good to see because that's what we needed on the road trip, and they got it done. And sure, the loss to Rouen sucks, but that's if there was a game that we lost, it was probably going to be that one. And so they won the games they had to win, and eventually they will win one of these games that against one of these top teams, and it'll be a big it'll be the boost that. I mean, they don't even need a boost right now. It'll be like a good confidence booster.
I'm scrolling down to see what our goaltending stats are, and I stumbled upon records when scoring first. Would you like to pick the 3 teams that are undefeated when they score first?
Probably not obvious, are they?
Nope.
Let me just look over here. Undefeated when scoring first.
Yep. I'll just take those away and just give you the teams. It's not who you expect.
Oh, wow. The Acadie Bathurst Titans have won.
Nope.
No?
Nope. It is the Cape Breton Eagles.
Oh.
They are 6-0 when they score first.
Oh, okay. I was looking at the top row.
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes in alphabetical order.
Gotcha. Okay.
The Moncton Wildcats are 7-0 when scoring first.
Nice.
And the Sherbrooke Phoenix are 7-0 when scoring first.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The Cape Breton Eagles are first in something.
Yeah. When scoring first. 18 games, they've scored 6 first goals, and in 18 games, Moncton scored 7, and Sherbrooke scored 7 as well. But those 2 teams that I did not think would...
Well, it's tough for Cape Breton to win then when they get shut out by Sherbrooke and get shut out by Rimouski. And, You know how many goals? So they've finished their regular season, the 2 games against Sherbrooke.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say 0 goals. Home and away.
0.
Ooh, that's tough.
I made a joke. The league's newest tiebreaker should be goals for against the Phoenix. So the Eagles are dead last.
Yeah. As much as I shit on the power play early in the year, it is now 3rd in the league at 26%.
There you go.
And had some success on the weekend. And in these 3 games, especially, I guess 4 now because he was gone in the Quebec game. I like what I've seen from the power play with Sumpf and Lounsbury and whether it's Grenier, Fortier, Gendron, and the MCL line. Like that, what I like is they're getting the power play time that they've earned by playing unreal hockey right now at 5-on-5.
Yeah, earned is the key word right there. They are playing. This is a line that I don't ever want to see them separated.
No,
at this point, they're just playing that well.
Like in-game adjustments, injury-wise, sure, but every time I do a graphic, I never want to change that second line unless I'm moving the whole thing to the top. That's it. Like they're just good. They when Loshing and Denwaye come back, and they get on PP1, the MCL line should roll out on number 2.
I agree.
Like I would take Lounsbury off that first power play, not because he doesn't deserve it, and then I wouldn't keep that number 1 power play out for like the Oilers style or the full minute and 30 seconds and give the group 30 seconds. Like try and split it up the best you can because this MCL line, after like Collard said, 1 practice and they've kind of come together, have been great all year.
Yeah, no, it's really good to see because everybody's there's usually there's 3 forwards and normally it's 2 guys that are putting up most of the points, but all 3 guys are doing damage right now, and it's really good to see, and that's why you kind of want Loshing back because that really completes your top 6.
I was just trying to find the goalie stats, but I don't really need to find it.
Save it for another day.
Save it for another day. So now we get into the preview. The Islanders coming into the Avenir Center on Friday, and these are the games that I worry about because, and it's not just a Wildcats thing. It's most teams do not play well in that first home game after a long road trip. But I think that saves the Wildcats in this one is the Islanders were on the exact same road trip, just the opposite way.
Yeah.
They had to Gatineau. They went to Gatineau, Rennes, and Val-d'Or, and they're making the trek all the way back. So I think that might give us a little bit of a better, I don't want to say effort, but effort for lack of a better word. But these games always kind of worry me in that first home game after a long road trip.
Yeah, for sure. And, we're still our top three. I should say top three. We'll still be without the three forwards, and Islanders will be without Conrad on the back end. Both at
so if we get to overtime, we're okay.
Yeah, that's it, right? It's but no, you should.
They still got Horth. They still got Kersey.
Well, that's it, right? They're a team you can't take lightly. It's Jim Holton hockey. It's they will pester you. They will work their tails off. They will play 60 minutes, and you better be right there with them, or you won't be on the positive end of the game. No,
and then you've got Shawinigan coming in. Tougher. Barbashev makes his return to Shawinigan, so get your tickets Sunday Fun Day. But they're a bit of a struggle right now. They're 2-7-1 in their last 10. But again, he's going to be fired up to be back in Moncton and kind of try and show that they made a mistake by moving him. It was not a want; it was a numbers game, unfortunately. But that's the team that we don't get to see often. But when we do, it's they'll take advantage of their mistakes, of your mistakes.
Yeah, and it's a team, obviously one of the two teams that are vying for the Memorial Cup next year. So. They'll want to, they've got some good pieces, and I'm sure there'll be a little moment for Barbashev as well. And I think it's they had a little thing. Who was it that was here earlier in the season?
Iasenza.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Barbashev I think will be a little bit of a
a nice little video tribute.
That would be nice. Yeah. A video tribute would be nice. He's done enough to warrant it, and it's. I think it was Kevin Barrett who said that he probably scored one of the biggest goals in Wildcats history recently.
Yeah.
Which was the overtime winner against Baie-Comeau. So, if there's a goal to put on the video tribute, that's probably one of them.
Yeah.
And we can all laugh when he almost takes out Steinman at the end of the ice.
And then then again scores a goal with a bloody nose in game one against Halifax. But again, their team in Shawinigan, I mean, they got pretty decent. Felix Lacerte, Louis Felix Denouye, Jordan Tournier. They've got a good team over there, so you can't take them. You can't take them lightly. I'm not sure which goalie they'll have.
It's junior hockey. You can't take any of these teams lightly.
No, I assume they'll have Delafontaine playing, as he's been playing most of their.
But when do they play in Cape Breton? Because they'll probably want him to play in Cape Breton.
Oh man!
So it's. I mean, if they play in Cape Breton the night before, they'll probably play Delafontaine there, and then we'll get their.
Whichever
backup. I'm
fine by us.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No.
It's I don't even know who their backup is.
Felix Hamel, and give me 1 second.
Hamel.
I'll get right back to that one. Who is it? Matthias Langvin or Felix Hamel, both rookies. One's played 2 games, one's played 3.
Okay. So yeah, whenever the Cape Breton game is, if we play before them.
Now they go Cape Breton's the first one, then they play Halifax, then Moncton.
So I wouldn't put one of the rookie goalies in against Halifax.
No. No. Yeah, so who knows if we'll see Delafontaine, but we know we'll see Max Barbashev. It'd be interesting to see how he does against Halifax because he loves to play there.
Yes, he does.
And I'm not going to guarantee anything, but we are going to hope to speak to Max on his return to Moncton. But it's just if the Wildcats play the way they can play, we shouldn't have an issue with either one of these two teams. But you can't shoot yourself in the foot and make the little mistakes that kind of cost us, especially now that we've had some games against Charlottetown. That's the team that this thing, for both teams coming off a long road trip, this thing might be 2-1, and it'll be a grind-out type affair for 60 minutes.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought we were going to the next.
I thought we were going to too, but I was trying to look for something to go to.
That's okay.
That's why Sunday night shows are the best shows.
Yeah, grind it out 60 minutes.
Yeah. 4 lines, banging bodies.
Everybody gets in and contributes and does their job.
Yeah, that's all that we can expect. That's it. You ready for everyone's favorite part of the show, I guess?
I'm actually prepared this week, too.
Yeah, all right. Perfect.
Eric Murray, Realtor. Buy our house from him. Stick Tap of the Week.
All right. So this past Saturday was my daughter's birthday. Little eighth birthday for Avery. So the Stick Tap is obviously going to go out to everyone who made it possible. We're going to start with Adam. Boyle Family Farm, who were the hosts of Avery's birthday party this year. They were on the 126 in Indian Mountain, I believe it is. You get invited to all these kids' birthday parties, and it's like, oh, okay, well, let's go to Sky Zone, or let's go to this gym, or whatever it is, the standards, right? Yeah. I guess Megan and I figured, let's kind of do something different. So we did the Boyle Family Farm, which was really fun. These kids love animals, obviously, and so they got to feed the pigs and feed the goats and pet the horses and all this other stuff. And what I really enjoyed is Barb, the lovely old lady who was the guide. She's wearing a Bell hoodie the entire time, so I won't hold that against her. There was supposed to be a wagon ride included in the birthday party,
right?
But one of the tires on the wagon had busted or burst.
Oh,
so they also say on these birthday parties that you can do pony rides, but for 50 cents per kid. Well, they actually gave the pony rides to us for free.
Nice.
So all the 15 kids got to go on a little pony ride.
Holy shit, your kid's popular.
Yeah. Well, it was,
not a big deal.
She goes to school and she's like, hey, I know your dad. He's on YouTube. Let's be friends. No, not really.
But really.
But really. But no, it was awesome. They have a little party room there.
Yeah.
And in terms of, what it costed compared to the other, it was actually cheaper.
Nice.
To go to the farm. And it was a great time. Lots of smiley faces. And, anytime you go to a birthday party, it's always cake or there's cupcakes. Well, we thought, since she's turning 8, let's do donuts.
Nice.
Because 2 donuts is 8.
Yeah.
And so instead of cake or cupcakes, we got Halo donuts.
And you didn't bring any?
And so there's obviously none left.
Obviously.
So we did a order of 12 homers and 12 birthday cakes. And there was kids going back for seconds. And I was like, how can you eat 2 donuts? I'm full after one.
You get 2 donuts?
What? Oh, I can eat 2.
No, I meant the kids were eating 2 donuts. Like you didn't
yeah.
cut them in half to give them 2.
No, each kid got their own full-size donut.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
it was like $75 for 24 donuts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, it was good. We got 12 homers
awesome.
and 12 birthday cakes, and
Those are my favorite too.
Each kid got their own donuts, and there's Papa John's pizza, and it was actually really, really good time. Had a great time, and so that's the Stick Tap. Boyle Family Farm, Halo Donuts, and our friends at Papa John's.
Eric Murray.
The Stick Tap of the Week, sponsored by Eric Murray Real Estate with the RE/MAX Avante team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Greater Moncton or surrounding area, make sure to check him out on social media or give him a call at 506-863-8802.
And that now brings us to the Wildcast Wildcat of the Week, presented by Rosemary Lynn Massage and Spa. Right now, till November 20th, buy one spa service, get 40% off your next spa service. Both services must be booked at the same time. Massages are not included. Promotion may be discontinued at any time. Management reserves all rights. If you want to book that, don't forget they also have a loyalty card, so you can get to your loyalty, get 9 services, get 1 free. Rosemary Lynn Massage and Spa, 1224 Mountain Road, or 506-830-1224. Well, we talked about it a little bit earlier. The MCL line has been quite dynamic all season in being put together and just unreal all year. And this past week was no different. This player had 4 goals in the 3 games, and he looked quite impressive from day one, especially from last year to this season. He's had a couple instances of 2-goal games and hasn't got that 3rd one this weekend. He got his 3rd one. Was the number 1 star for the CHL on Saturday. Your Wildcat of the week is number 20, Preston Lounsbury.
I can make a joke about that,
Okay.
You know, he actually scored 4 goals in that game?
Really?
Yeah, he did. Because he shot one of the Gatineau goals into his own net.
That's true. Yeah.
4-goal game for Preston Lounsbury.
I forgot he did that too. Yeah.
It wasn't really on him.
No.
It's not often that your defenseman just, I'm going to pass it. I'm
I'm gonna spin and flip it right in the middle.
Right in the crease.
Yeah, I think I tweeted, if you're a goaltender, 10 the goal.
Yeah, you did. So 4-goal game for Preston Lounsbury, but
3 of them.
3 where they count.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that'll do it for this episode presented by Alpha's Appliance Solutions. Remember, they got the Gen Air Luxury Redefined event. 10% off when you purchase 1 item, 15% off when you purchase 2 or 3, 20 when you purchase 4, and 25% when you purchase 5 or more eligible Gen Air products. In-store only. So when you go to in-store, 25 Halifax Street, or give them a call at 858-5111. Yeah, I mean, we'll be back Friday, or I'll be back Friday on the YouTube. Friday and Sunday, we're going to try to talk to Barb's before that Sunday game against Shawinigan. This month, the Remembrance Day game is November 10th. The Corey Crawford night is November 24th, and Hockey Fights Cancer is November 30th against St. John. Now, before we get out of here, sir, I think you've got something to give away.
I do. I was wondering. I was like, is he going to remember?
He did.
He's going to remember it. So
I just want to get all this out of the way first.
Very true. Yeah. So if you were about to turn off your show, please don't. This is not over yet. Yeah. So we're doing a giveaway. Yeah. And this isn't a trivia question giveaway. This is a you do good for us, we do good for you. You scratch our back, we'll scratch yours. So Adam kind of shaved his face, but he's going to start growing it. I'm doing the Movember. Is the greatest month in the 12 months of the year, and so we're going to put together a Movember page, and the individual who donates the most money to our page between now and after the game on November 15th against the Titans will receive 2 tournament passes to the Monktonian, including the championship day. Thanks to our friends at New Country 969, Scotty and Tony.
Nice.
So that's, again, we're going to post the link, or I'm going to do it, you're going to do it. One of us is going to do
We're
Movember
both
page.
gonna do it.
We're going to do a page. Yeah. And whoever donates the most money to our Movember between now and the 15th will win 2 passes to the Monktonian, which kicks off on the 16th.
Do you want to talk about part 2 of that donations? Or
Correct.
You wait?
Part 2 will be, because we don't want the donations to stop.
No.
We want them to continue. So, again, if you donate after the 15th, between the 15th and the 23rd, the largest donator will receive tickets.
2 tickets.
2 tickets to the Corey Crawford retirement night game on the 24th against the Rouyn-Noranda Huskies. So there you go, folks. That's our initiative. That's our pretty faces about to mustache and look like very handsome gentlemen.
That is correct. So, yeah, please, if you can donate whatever you want. If you donate up until and after the Bathurst game, so midnight on the 15th, the largest donation will get 2 tickets to the Monktonian, which is the 16th to the 19th. And donations after that, up until the 23rd, the highest bid will get 2 tickets to Corey Crawford night, which better be a freaking sellout, because Joe Thornton was a freaking sellout, and that guy didn't win any Stanley Cups. Our guy did. But yeah, so get your tickets to that, or donate a lot of money, and you'll get 2 free tickets to it.
There you go.
All right. For Jeremy,
I'm
Adam. See you next week.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.